Welcome back to another episode of Build the Weight Loss Practice of Your Dreams. If this is your first episode that you are listening to, then I welcome you here. My name is Carol Clark and I am your host. I am also the CEO of Weight Loss Practice Builder. I am blessed to get to work with bariatric surgeons and bariatricians and weight loss practitioners across the U.S., helping them build their practice from the ground up or grow it into whatever it is that their vision has for them. And it is a lot of fun. And today I'm talking about a topic that I get asked about a lot, and that is how to turn inquiries at your weight loss practice into consultations. And although there's lots of different ways people can make an inquiry, whether it is a text through your website, whether it is a contact us inquiry from your website, whether it is a direct message on one of your social media platforms, or a good old-fashioned phone call to the office or email to one of your team members, or your email that you use that's posted on your website, you get a lot of inquiries. And it's all about how to take these inquiries and turn them into consultations if appropriate. And I'm going to talk more specifically today about phone inquiries. And I don't know if people realize it, but studies do show that about 80% of people will actually hang up if they're sent a voicemail. And if people wait on the phone longer than 90 seconds when they're put on hold, many of them will hang up, and about 1/3 of them or so won't make another call back to your office if it's the first time that they're calling your office. So those are some important statistics to have in mind as we move forward. And we are going to talk just briefly about some of the other methods. But as far as your website goes, you want to make sure that your website is very visually appealing. You want to make sure it's very easy for people to navigate, and that you do have some ways for them to reach out to you, whether it's through your contact us, and also oftentimes you can have a text message that's directly into your lead tracking software, which I know that's how we do it. It's so nice and convenient for patients. So you can have that happen, and also you have your phone number on there. So you want to make sure that's very easy to navigate. It is mobile friendly. Most people are looking at websites on their mobile device. So we want to make sure it's mobile friendly, easy to navigate, and easy to know exactly who you are, what it is you offer, and clearly how to take the next step. So those are some very basic essentials. You also want to make sure it's optimized with the proper keywords and blogs and articles and the words within your website that are the topics that people are searching for. So you want to make sure that it is optimized, and it's easier to do than you may think. So we want to make sure that is happening. And we also want to make sure your Google listing is up to date, and we want to make sure that you have some content out there so people know what it is that you do. And like I say, that you are answering their questions, they can see your expertise shining through and why you are different from many of the other weight loss programs that they may have tried in the past. So your social media is important for that, making sure you have all the about filled out and a way for them to reach out to you and always get to your website, always take them back to that land that you own, your space, your website, and also making sure they have great online reviews. So those are just a few online things to be cognizant of. But when it comes to phone calls, we do want to make sure that there is a connection made. And so, people will make decisions based on the connections that they have, how your conversation made them feel, how your email made them feel, how your website, lots of that stuff plays into it. And so you never have a second chance, of course, to make a first impression. And especially if they're calling your office, you want to make sure you and your team are on your A game and able to address their questions. So for all inquiries, no matter how they come in, of course, you want to make sure that you're providing excellent customer service. And you also want to make sure that you're responding properly, because especially in today's day and age, you want to make sure that you're responding to them very quickly, or at least that you've got something coming to them that tells them how long the period of time may be before they may get a response back. It helps them be able to have expectations that are realistic for your practice, but the sooner you can get back to them, the better. The other thing is you want to use some customized scripts and allow your team to sort of personalize it. I know in our practice, I have very different personalities and people respond to different personalities, but they're all kind and empathetic at heart. One might have a more gentler feel. One has more of like a groovy sort of a feel, more of a sense of humor. But all of them are very empathetic, and their kindness just shines through. And it has to be that way when people are making calls to your office. You need to have good listeners. So when they call, you want to make sure that you are listening to what their question is. If you need to clarify that, for perhaps they're calling, you have to clarify, are you calling about medical weight loss or surgical weight loss? It helps you guide that conversation because we're all busy and the phones are ringing, but you want to take time with them. Show that empathy and that kindness and let them know that you really do care about what their question is and what their biggest concerns are, and see how you can help them. You also want to make sure that you answer questions as clearly as possible. Ambiguity does not result in someone's comfort level being raised to want to make a consultation appointment. You want to be very clear about your process, and so you want to have that down pat. I have any new employees, if I have any, or any interns, anyone that's there, they sit with somebody for a while to get used to what the common questions are. We have a frequently asked question list that they can follow through on. They listen to somebody, and then someone will listen to them and help guide them in terms of their answering the phones and interacting with people. You always want to sort of under promise and over deliver. So you don't want to all of a sudden say, I'm sure I can get you in tomorrow. And then all of a sudden you look at tomorrow's schedule and you've got somebody out and you don't have appointments, and you've set them up for some disappointment. So you want to say, let me see the soonest appointment that I have. I'll do my best to get you in and your time frame and on the day and time that you'd like to come in, but you don't guarantee any of that. So you want to under promise and over deliver so that they have this like wow feeling. She really stepped out of the norm to make sure that my needs were met. For phone inquiries, you do want to promptly and pleasantly answer the phone. If you need to smile or put little smile stickers on some phones, I've had to do that before sometimes just to remind people to smile. It does come through in your conversation, always saying, hello, thank you for calling Center for Weight Loss Success. This is Carol. How may I assist you? Is a great way to start out your conversation and help them feel as if you really are there to listen to them and that you care about it. Of course you do. So you want to make sure you answer very pleasantly, not just a hello, this is Carol, something like that. So we want to make sure people are doing that. Sometimes you can actually listen to your colleagues or coworkers and get some different ways to answer, but we always want to make sure we identify where they called, thank them for calling, who we are, and how may we assist you? How may we, how may we help you? So however it is that works best for you. But you want to make sure you're doing that. And like I say, smile. You want to listen first and then clarify the question, like I mentioned. And you also want to answer questions with confidence. So you want to know what services you offer, what are the various price points if someone's asking you that. A lot of times people don't want to get into that. They want to get them in for a consultation. But sometimes if I'm calling somewhere, I do want to get like at least a range of the cost for some of the programs, if there is something like that. If I can't use my insurance, I want to know that up front so I know what to expect when I get there. So you want to answer their questions as best as possible. And after we talk with them, when we get all their information, we just get the basic information to get them into the system, to get them, to get them scheduled, or if there's some information that we need before we can schedule them, we have a way to either text them, we have a way to email them, whatever their preference is, we ask that. We send it to them. If they need to watch a webinar, we send a link. Everything's very succinctly put. We create those ahead of time, and then the person customizes it. So you do want to take that. And if you talked about their kids or the fact that they had a cold, you may want to mention, I hope you're feeling better. This is just to recap our conversation. We're going to see you on, and we'll send that out to them. It's all in there in our text messaging system or in our emails as saved emails. But for the most part, it's in a one location where we can text and we can email all within one, our lead tracker system. And it just makes it very streamlined. Every conversation with the patient is right there. And you can see exactly what was sent to them, what they've sent in, if you require their insurance card or any of their onboarding forms, that sort of thing. It's all in one place so that if you're not there answering the question the next time, somebody else may. Now, if you're a really large practice and you have, most small practices with like 1 to 4 providers, that's a solo practice that's just there, they're not with another group. They don't really have the luxury of having a call center. Some places do have the luxury of having a call center. In that case, there are more than one person all answering the phone, all able to follow the scripts, get everyone scheduled, and do all this for you. But for most practices, we're kind of doing this ourselves, and everyone needs to be well versed in it. You want to make scheduling appointments as easy as possible and set expectations. If there's going to be a fee that needs to be collected or you need them to arrive a little bit early, be very clear about that. Make sure they know how to find your office. Share that with them. Send them, the directions in that email or follow-up conversation that you send them, and just make sure they have everything that they need. And then you want to make sure that you close with a great thank you. And I know my team does it all very differently. I love listening to them. One of them is always saying, thank you for your call. We look forward to being a part of your weight loss journey. We're honored that you've called us today. We can't wait to get to meet you. We'll have all sorts of different things, but that enthusiasm and that welcoming comes through so that they are excited to come in for their visit. And we genuinely do want to meet them. So we want to make sure that that comes through. And you want to make sure it's a great impression. It may be your first, maybe the last chance to have a first impression, of course. And you also want to make sure that you understand that whoever's answering the phone, whoever's responding to inquiries, you are the reputation of the practice. And so knowing that and really owning that is really important to do the best job that you possibly can. So I hope this helps you in terms of getting people in, taking those inquiries and turn them into consultations or whatever the next step it is in your weight loss practice, whether it's medical, surgical, or both. And these tips will not steer you awry. It will be very helpful. And if you follow these and just think about how you want to be treated when you're making an inquiry and you follow those same rules of thumb, you'll find that you'll have much greater success. I know it's easy to say, it's hard sometimes to put into practice, especially if you're short-staffed or something like that, but you do just want to always be honest, as transparent as you can, and as kind and empathetic as you can. So anyhow, that is my helpful tips for today on how to turn inquiries into consultations. I hope you found it helpful. Please reach out to me, Carol, Karol, at weightlosspracticebuilder.com. If you would like more information, or you just want to have an opportunity audit on what's going on in your practice, those are always free. You can just reach out to me and do that. I have lots of free resources at weightlosspracticebuilder.com/free. You'll find all sorts of things there, all goodies there waiting for you, things you can use starting today in your practice. So I hope this has served you, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day and excellent phone etiquette with those potential patients that are coming your way, or email or online, however you're responding to them. In the meantime, take care.